This week's Torah portion is called Yitro, and it's named after Moses' father-in-law. Now, he wasn't just anybody. He was actually an idol worshiper. In fact, the Midrash tells us that he worshipped every single idol that possibly existed at that time. So why would the Torah portion, in which we receive the Torah, the 10 Commandments given on Mount Sinai is in this week's Torah portion, why would you name that Torah portion after Yitro, after an idol worshiper? It doesn't seem to make sense. So the truth is, idol worshippers, they're not fools. They're actually very intelligent. And they spend their lives pondering higher spheres of existence and ethereal planes and thinking about the meaningful things in life and how to attribute certain aspects of life in the world to higher forces. So when Yitro, who's a priest of Midian, abandoned his idolatry to go to the desert and be with the Jewish people to get the Torah, this was an informed decision. And when he says, now I know that God is greater than all the other deities, this is giving the Torah such an honor from an esteemed intellectual individual who's testifying that Torah is the greatest wisdom of all. And in this way, he's handing over his idol worship to the Torah. He's giving it up and saying, this is all for the Torah. This is only Torah is what's important now. Now, Hasidic philosophy teaches that there's actually a little bit of a hint of idol worship if a person does a mitzvah, does a good deed, does one of God's commandments, but for the wrong reason, for a reason that's other than doing what God wants. Because what does idol worship do? An idol worshiper looks to some force that's not God in order to accomplish something. And when you do a mitzvah that's not for the right intentions, so that's done for a motive that's not God's will. It's something that's other than godly. So obviously this is a very remote connection over here. And even if a mitzvah is done for the wrong reason, it's still a good thing. You should for sure do it. It's just that the ulterior motive makes it have like a little bit of a schmutz, a little smell, a little schmeck of idol worship, as we say in Yiddish. So that doesn't mean that a person should stop doing a mitzvah just because their motives aren't pure. Of course not. You should always do what's right, always do something good, even if your motives are not pure. Right? Even if you're just giving charity so that your name should be on the building, and not because, you want to do the mitzvah, but because you want to have all of the attention put on you, still you should absolutely do the right thing. You should do the mitzvah. Because eventually, God willing, you'll come to start doing it for the right reasons. And then you'll be just like Yitro, where all the good deeds that you did in the past that were performed for the wrong reasons will now be handed back over to the Torah, handed back over to God with the proper motivation, and elevate everything that you did in the past. Shabbat Shalom.